Good morning, natural gas. It's Wednesday, May the 20th, 2026. I'm Tim Biggins, president of Elk Trading Company. And for the spot June natural gas contract, we're currently down. We're currently trading at 3.0777675 now, down 3.9 cents here, or a little bit over 1.2%. And as you can see, we're still above the 13 and 48 period exponential moving average. But the RSI is trying to turn lower. So we've got storage tomorrow, expectations plus 90 to 95 BCF. Again, that's bullish versus the last year number of 119, but it's neutral against the 5-year average, which was plus 92. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. And as you can see right now, the RSI is trying to hold here at first support, which comes in today at 303.60. Our daily pivot, 308.40. So we may just sit here sideways around the daily pivot at 308.40, wait for storage to come in tomorrow. What's going on? We've got some bearish weather coming through. Let's take a look at what's going on here in Texas. And as you can see, this is Houston right here. I live just north of this. And it's been wet, wet, wet. And it's going to stay that way for at least the next 7 days with rain forecast over 50% each and every day. What else are we looking at right here? We've got some storms down in Central America behind me. And of course, right here in the Bay of Campeche coming off the coast here. So we're going to keep a careful eye on it because at this time of year, it's important to see if storms can form because the waters are very warm in the Gulf of America / Mexico. So what else is going on? Let's turn to LNG. And we've got a little bit more foot traffic here going through the Strait of Hormuz, but nothing is still loading yet at Ras Laffan. Remember, yesterday we mentioned that there has been a heat signature detected on train 2 on the south system, and that is where trains 4 and 6 were damaged by Iranian drones. So very important to see what happens there. Let's take a look at the LNG tanker that took the first cargo from Golden Pass. And let's see, it's now just north of Cuba, heading back into the Gulf of America right now, possibly heading back toward Golden Pass. So that's good news for Golden Pass, but it's needing to produce LNG. What else is going on here? Power yesterday really spiked up in parts of MISO, PJM, of course, New England, and this is the Ontario exchange. And something must have gone wrong this morning between New England here and the Ontario system because this is bright and early in the middle of the night, and it popped here over $400. And then this is, of course, into Ontario here, popping up almost as 250. You could see the rain effect here in ERCOT. Prices right now trading at about $18 per megawatt hour. That's pretty cheap here. So what else is going on here? Let's take a look at the front to back spreads. And this is Jan versus October. And as you can see, it's bottomed out at 128 for the moment. The RSI is trying to turn positive. We'll see if this gets to our target here of 125, but we're close enough. So if things start to move out, we got a positive settlement today. We need to see it pushed down tomorrow. If it doesn't happen here, we would take profits on this particular spread. And here's the Novi through March. Yesterday popped up almost 7 cents here yesterday, but now giving up almost 4.5 here right now, giving it back up. Again, we've got what's called convergence here. That means that the price continues to edge lower, but the RSI is edging higher. And let's take a look at the LNG. This is Creole Trail Pipeline. This feeds Sabine Pass. That's Cheniere's big facility. And right now we're currently running at 1.5 out of 1.7. Yesterday, there was some problems here at Gillis. That's the interconnect from Haynesville production. And there was a gas quality issue that dropped Haynesville production hard yesterday. And of course, the inputs into the LNG facility, such as Cheniere's Sabine Pass. And here's what's going on over at Corpus Christi. It is running 2.56 BCF out of 2.75. So that's running pretty optimally right now. And here is Golden Pass. Finally, some good news. Up to 204,000 MMBTUs. Again, the capacity for train 1, 800 to 850,000 MMBTUs. How about Calcasieu Pass? This is Venture Global. And as you can see, because of some possible quality issues again at Gillis here, we may see this down here almost half a BCF from its total capacity. So we're going to keep a careful eye on that gas quality issue out of the Haynesville. But over in Louisiana here, then Gator Express, well, it's running over nameplate capacity at 3.97 out of 3.94. So making as much LNG as possible at Plaquemines. Here's the temperature outlook, and again, it's above normal, way up in the Great Lakes, but near normal in Texas with this rain, and above normal, of course, in Florida. Good time of the year to hit the beach. Let's take a look at that heat risk here going forward. Right now, we've got heat risk. This is major heat risk between North Carolina all the way back up into Washington, D.C. So that was what was causing some power price spikes yesterday. And let's take a look as it goes through the forecast period. It eases up a little bit, but we start to see that major heat risk starting to form in Florida. Again, it's dry, but now we're starting to see some humidity. And of course, the temperatures are rising. So we'll keep a careful eye on that. As we go forward, you could start to see much of the country is starting to experience minor heat risk as temperatures rise into June. And here's Europe. And it's starting out with some moderate temperatures. We talk about the warmer temperatures that are coming in again on the 22nd. But then as we go through the forecast period, really starts to warm up by the 27th. And then colder air now starts to come into the forecast period, pushing through by June the 2nd into the 3rd. We start to see much below normal temperatures in Eastern Europe. How about storage for the EU? Well, it's starting to slowly improve. We hope to see better numbers here, but the Netherlands is just under 13%. Sweden's still 10%. I think it only has one storage field. So let's take a look at what else is going on. How about Asia? So this is back and forth with some warmer temperatures, then some cool air pushes in from the north out of Siberia into Mongolia, and then pushes into the eastern provinces. As we go into the forecast period, the Koreas actually end up kind of a little bit cooler than normal, again, similar to Europe, before some warmer temperatures start looking to the west. And here's the U.S. nuclear fleet. Again, we've got 2 units that are down, Fermi up in Michigan, and Palisades. I believe that's Fermi's in Michigan as well, and Palisades is also in Michigan. Right now, currently, we are down to 8.6 gigawatts that are offline. That's within the 5-year average. So we're quickly getting most of these units back online. As you can see, there's just a few that are coming off here that are having some problems still up in the Northeast. Limerick here, Surrey, there is Comanche Peak near Fort Worth, and St. Lucie in Florida. And here's the plume. That's the Saharan air layer. That dust is still coming off the continent and pushing towards northern South America, back up into Central America, and then eventually these winds will start pulling things into the Gulf of America / Mexico. And here's our stocks for today. This is the oil and gas E&P sector, stocks between $2 and $10 billion, and have a high short float over 10%. And as you can see behind me, CNX down just 0.19%. We've got VET is back in the mix again. This is Vermilion Energy, down 0.15%. So let us recap here again for the spot June contract. We're currently trading at 308, down 3.4 cents here, or a little bit over 1%. Remember, Monday is Memorial Day, but the exchange is open. It's a half day. It closes at 12 Central Time and then reopens again later that night at 5 p.m. Central Time. So it's still going to be trading, but we're running out of time. Expiration, May 27th. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.